Hey guys, Kevin here. Today we're going to talk about if you have EcoTank printer that already has ink in it, how can you convert it to sublimation ink so you can make yourself a sublimation printer? Let's get started. You'll need a sublimation ink, of course, and you need a syringe. I do not recommend those like large syringe with wings, and then you have use adapters. Do not use this. Just use a regular syringe, and that should work fine. You need a screwdriver. If you have a pigment ink in your printer, I suggest to get a bottle of pigment ink base. And go to your grocery store and get a bottle of distilled water, not just purified or mineral water. It must say distilled. If you have EcoTank, most likely you have dye ink, so that's not the one I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is the pigment ink. Pigment ink doesn't go into the paper; they lay on top of paper. So pigment particles, they are designed to attract to each other and form like something like cement and cement it on top of the paper. Dye ink is designed to penetrate the paper. It's basically it's like a salt. And everything is totally dissolved, so it's very easy to clean and very easy to get rid of. Versus pigment, you can see the let's use the red dot as like a pigment. So they try to attract to each other and form a cement. And so what you do is you put in a chemical matrix to let them to push each other away. And those particles, when in an ink bottle, they are suspended inside this chemical matrix. However, if you add something to it, you add a dye ink in it, it doesn't have this matrix, and those particles attract to each other, and therefore it's going to block your print ad. Therefore, before you add a dye ink to break this matrix, I suggest just add some clear ink base that has that matrix, and just push the particles further apart and flush them out of the system. And this is totally optional. You don't have to do this, and you can just put the ink in and see what happens. Most of the time, I would say like 80-90% of times, the printer will just doing fine because there's not much ink left there.